like to take up the conversation ahead, so they can, or else Dhruv will take the lead on that.
I have a couple of
Yeah,
questions
yeah,
Yeah.
before
okay.
we dive into this, because I've seen like a lot of times what happens is we dive into the concept itself or the questions you've put up before clearing what's the foundation, like so that we are all on the same page. I think that was also your intention over here when you said death and craft rather than death of craft. So I don't know if you are going to lead the conversation to that direction, but should we better get like a clarity on what we mean by death and what we mean by craft before we get into death of craft?
Dhruv, you want to take it, or
Yeah, yeah, all right. So, all right. So the basic idea where we come from is essentially death of a craft. But when we started to explore this idea that how does a craft die, then we kind of came to a place where we wanted to explore death and crafts. Death as a concept separately. That when you talk about a phenomenon dying, then how does it actually die? So we did not want to constrain the conversation to particularly death of crafts, because there are other phenomenon also which have a, the, how do you say, an episode of death in them, and so we did not want to constrain the conversation to just particularly about death of a craft, but then how can we manage such an episode in the uh, lifetime of a craft. So that is the particular agenda of this entire leg, that death of a craft, when it happens, how can this particular event be managed, you know in and there can be multiple, how do you say, divergences from this point, that you can go with a legacy model, you can go build on museums of crafts, you can actually make the craft into a time capsule, and regenerate the craft after a certain point of time in the human history. So we were looking at such ideas where people, like, what ideas do you guys have, or what do you think, that how can a craft deal with this phenomenon of death?
As far as I remember, I've read like the word extinction more with the craft than the death. Death is more like a human thing for me. So I was just like wondering why the word death, because it's like, as a human, I connect more when you use the word death, and then extension is something not in my power, I feel. I don't know.
Also, interestingly, I think death is mostly related to an individual, and extinction is to an entire species. So that way, I think it also makes sense to call it extinction than death.
Uh, yeah. So for us, like this is an artistic expression for us also. So the point of choosing the word death was exactly somewhere what Supriya also said, that when extension happens, we somehow, you said no, that you are not actively involved in the process. And extension happens, and death is usually a little different phenomenon, and we associate it more with individuals. So that is the entire question, that death, when it happens to an entire phenomenon, and an entire phenomenon dies, we do say in a poetic manner or in a rhetorical manner that that feeling died, that whole vibe died. So there is a rhetoric connotation of death with things other than individuals, or so I think that was the idea. But then, yeah, extinction is also valid. Of course, it's a valid word for this. So we can look at extinction also. Why does a craft become extinct? Or extinct is when there is no remain or a trace left of a particular thing. I think that is the definition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like to start with, मुझे जितना समझ में आया, like after traveling across the country, जो craft की definition I think इंडिया में आके वो काफी change हो जाती है, because everything becomes very cultural, and by cultural it doesn't mean कि कोई religion या कुछ follow कर रहे हैं, but for example अगर एक craft को ले लें, suppose you take टांगलिया, ठीक है, तो टांगलिया कच्छ का craft है, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि आपकी पूरी community involved है उस craft में. So it's just not one man who's making that craft, but पूरा का पूरा गांव वो काम कर रहा है. So when a craft dies, पूरे गांव को असर करता है, पूरे गांव की इनकम, सारी चीजें असर करती है. सो आई रिमेम्बर हम लोग जब गड़सर गांव गए थे, दैट वाज द फर्स्ट थ्रेड्स ऑफ बनारस. तो वहां पे एक बहुत पुराना लूम हुआ करता था, अकड़ा मंटा लूम बोलते हैं उसको. अब मैं उसका टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट में भूल गई हूँ, बट उस लूम में कम से कम मोर देन 5000 थ्रेड्स होते थे. ठीक है, उसको किसी ने आके पूरा रिवाइव किया था. एंड देन राहुल जैन थे, who's Padma Shri and who's a textile historian. He was the only one who revived that particular loom. So whenever you speak to these persons, definitely there's always a sadness, because see, in the end उनका वो income है, उनका वो काम है, और उसके अलावा उनके लिए वो बहुत ज्यादा एक आइडेंटिटी है उनकी. आप डाइट पर so this is what I have found, ki the craft community itself is very strong. So it's just not about the money, but they also want to continue that particular craft. Again, adding to that, जैसे हमने Wheels of Maheshwar की थी, तो Wheels of Maheshwar में there are these 5 young guys who want to continue this craft. तो यहाँ पर जो young लोग हैं, उनका ये सोचना है कि उनके लिए पैसे नहीं आता, उनको अपना कल्चर फॉलो करना है. तो अगेन गांव में और इन सब चीजों में ये काफी इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. दैट्स व्हाट आई सी मेजरली.
also on that, like let's say आपने ये बताया जो वीव्स ऑफ महेश्वर वाला जो है, इसमें यंग लोगों ने पिकअप किया, तो ये वीविंग क्राफ्ट है ना, ये माहेश्वरी साड़ी.
Maheshwari sari is a weaving craft, yeah.
Okay.
And that particular craft is thriving because there are younger generation. So this craft, मतलब ये एक actually Maheshwari साड़ी is a craft, एक तरह से कह लो craft revival story है, where it was about to die, then Sally Holkar is married to the royal family, and उसके बाद सारे वीवर्स उनको लेकर मतलब उनके पास गए, उन्होंने बताया कि हमारी ऐसी प्रॉब्लम है, and then she revived. मतलब एक तरह से आप होते ना कि आप उसको नई या मॉडर्न बना रहे हो. So that's why because you're changing that craft with the time, that's why it was able to survive. And दूसरा, the younger generation want to continue this craft.
Okay.
I'm just curious about the timelines we are talking in, because at times when we associate, and we were talking about mourning previously, we were saying अगर ये होता है तो हम ये करते हैं. So there is a kind of like एक ही दिन में कुछ हुआ, कोई गवर्नमेंट ऑर्डर आया, कोई इंटरनेशनल एम्बार्गो हो गया, कुछ हो गया, and that basically made it impossible to continue that craft. That is like,
right.
But what I'm hearing right now is kind of a generational thing. It's like a generation above will talk about to their grandchildren, we used to practice this craft. It was like the middle generation somehow forgot or got distracted or like had a different modes of earning that they never felt like. So I was just listening to this, some sort of a documentary about Egypt mein ya kahan pe people are now no longer able to earn their living because tourism industry khatam ho gayi because of COVID.
Right.
So all of them are now going back to their villages and are growing fruits like these weather-resistant kind of fruits, which all the community used to grow. And now it's taking it's kind of a revival story there for them, because earlier kya tha, all the younger generation were going off to the tourism spots and earning a living through that. But now that is gone, now they're coming back to their roots, and now the grandparents are now teaching their grandchildren how they used to do this, and it's that revival is coming up again. So that's what I'm curious about. This is not like one sliver of something, an incident that kind of triggers the death. It kind of fades away with generations. So that's where I was curious when we say who should be informed. It's basically, it happens at such a slow pace that humans, like for human perception to occur, it basically becomes an active reflective thing where you basically poke someone and say, Acha, what was your livelihood like? And what happened? And when you ask that what happened, that's when the whole narration begins. Ki, Acha, this thing happened, that thing happened, roads got built, we got highways, if things started moving, a different industry came in. And we never thought of ki, Acha, we should be doing because it was giving a better earning to that.
Anyone knows a sudden death situation where it was sudden and not generational of craft?
जैसे मैं बताया था कि एक एपिक चैनल पे there's this documentary called The Lost Recipes, which talks about again जो रेसिपीज चली गई हैं, उसमें से एक इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट था where उसने रेसिपी तो एक राजा है जिसने रेसिपीज बचाने की कोशिश की थी और वो बुक अभी भी है. Now I'm forgetting the name of the राजा and the place because मैंने बहुत पहले देखा. तो उसमें क्या घर में उनके मतलब महल में जितने भी मेहमान आए, चाहे एक आए हो चाहे 100 लोग आए हो, मतलब उस दिन क्या बना है और क्या क्या इंग्रेडिएंट गए हैं तब से लेके उनके मरने तक, दे वो लाइक थाउजेंड्स. तो हर उसकी एक रेसिपी और उसके इंग्रेडिएंट सब अभी भी है. So I think there were people who were very interested in kind of saving the recipes. So it's interesting to look at it. I mean, to note down basically कि आपके घर में मेहमान आया, आज मेरे घर में 10 लोग आए, मैंने क्या बनाया. अच्छा, one thing I want to understand when you talk about who should be informed when a craft dies. One thing I want to understand, why do you feel that someone has to be informed?
It's just a parallel we are trying to draw. We are going a little poetic in this manner. We are thinking that death demands informing the community. You know, whenever a death happens, then you inform the people that this particular entity is no more in the system, and you continue your life without it now. Okay, and closed ones tend to mourn.
Right.
There are people who have functional relationships. They tend to change their businesses, and कोई किसी का partner की death हो गई तो he'll do the legal formalities. You know, so informed एक information देना death के बाद there is a practice है, ऐसा बोल लो. ठीक है, तो वो हमने वहाँ से लिया rhetoric. So this is what Praveen and I also do a lot. We try to just take a poetic reference कि जब human मरता है तो inform करते हैं. So do we do this when a phenomenon dies? है ना, तो अच्छा. Also I have like going on to this food thing. I have let's say I have a very small, very generic, cliched speculation, and na ki let's say ki going over what Praveen and Praveen was also saying कि let's say अगर कोई trend change होता है, या फिर जो Egypt वाला example हमने देखा कि एक pandemic आया, उसकी वजह से certain events trigger हुए and a certain craft got affected, it got revived or it got destroyed or it got disrupted, जो भी हुआ एक culture को. So let's I just have a question कि let's say अगर food for example, now food and ingredients of food generally हर culture के बहुत ही कुछ rules regulations रहे हैं. इंडिया में भी हम देख रहे हैं. And then it's not just India. Every culture comes with a very specific set of regulations, and we see that the food of that land or the food making practices of that land are very aware of that. So let's say a change happens in a particular ingredient. So I don't want to name a meat because it just becomes too political. Let's say the potato gets banned. Now I see a spectrum of, it's not just कि एक ingredient के खत्म हो जाने से एक craft पे effect हुआ. I think a spectrum of recipes got affected. तो ये भी बहुत interesting scenario मुझे लग रहा है कि ऐसा कि when one particular thing is removed, so probably that can be a cause of disruption in a lot of practices.
I think it's okay because अगर उसका relevance खत्म हो गया एक time के बाद, so it's okay because again if one thing ends, one tradition ends, something else will start. This is मतलब ये होता ही है. Even regarding the craft, अगर उसका कुछ एक चीज खत्म हो गई या suppose if it's dying, उसमें आप कुछ नई चीज ऐड कर रहे हो या टेक्नोलॉजी आ रहा है या नया पैटर्न आ रहा है, कुछ आ रहा है.
I might
I
agree
to that because I think our craft also echoes our culture. So like say now, like I'm using different medium or I have different ideologies, so that is going to be reflected in my craft, right? So I think it's okay for a craft which does not still like echo with me, or I don't resonate with it. Or when I say me, then like also again a bigger picture, like say society, if it doesn't resonate with the society, then I think it's okay because it's a reflection of us.
Right.
Also, I have like
again,
then I would like to present a conflict then. Kya, you would like to go first?
Okay, can I also ask, like, can Bhargav give his opinion on that?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
see
yeah.
him trying to say something and then somebody
Yeah.
interjects.
Okay.
Sorry.
Praveen moderator
Yeah,
चाहिए.
sorry. Sorry.
So like connecting to like a couple of points like we are just discussing, which is one parallel we are talking about craft culture, which is traditional, and we are also like in between talking about like programming and all. So I was trying to think from a bit meta level, like what all we are talking basically. So what I felt like talking about these two keywords, death and craft. I think we are discussing basically time and associations, like uh, craft as a process of forming association, and death as a process of uh, disintegrating, or like uh,
Disengaging.
yeah, disengaging those associations. And again, like talking about death, like why it's very interesting, like to acknowledge death. Like if you want to acknowledge something dead, or some object or people or tradition or anything, you will have some kind of tangible or intangible ruins of that, which will be uh, like uh, come in contact with some person who is curious, with a supernatural reason why that person find that ruin and then become curious. So I think that's how even we talk about, like, let's say programming language like processing or open frameworks, anything, or even material. Like when someone is making something, basically he is associating with that, and his association with that particular activity is again like someone's observation. So it's kind of like association. It's like, yeah, I'm just
Meta association.
expanding what was coming to my mind. Yeah.
So we kind of understand what you're saying. I get it. Like I especially like when you said no कि it's a craft association form करने का तरीका हो गया है और like आपके according, and disengagement is a word I really like मतलब किया मैंने. So yeah, like essentially we are trying to do this only, that death के क्या semantics हैं और death of a craft के hence क्या semantics होंगे, या कैसा हो सकता है वो ऐसा. So death in itself is a phenomenon that we are considering. So yeah, the discussion is like what you said. I resonate with it.
What I have experienced, ठीक है, when there is a third party, या हम किसी craft को बचाने की बात करते हैं, ठीक है, या किसी culture को, there's a lot of I would say kind of एक आपका personal attachment होता है कहीं ना कहीं, that you want to save that craft because आपको जो भी उसमें अच्छा मिला. Again, how are you able to do it? For example, जैसे मैं भोपाल गई थी, भोपाल में it's a new museum called Tribal Museum, okay, and what they have done is, trust me, it's one of the best museums in India I've seen, and they have completely changed the proportion and the figure and the sizes, everything with the particular craft. मतलब एक तरह से आप मान लो कि उसको इंस्टॉल किया गया है. मेरे लिए being a craft student and being a documentary filmmaker, to see a craft in that way. एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल है कि जैसे मध्य प्रदेश का है, एक छोटी सी कहानी है, ठीक है, लाइक अ मेड्यूसा लाइक कैरेक्टर. अब उन्होंने क्या किया है कि हर उसमें कहानी लिखी हुई है नीचे और उसके इंस्टॉलेशन बनाया, और जो भी इंस्टॉलेशन है वो लोकल क्राफ्ट से किया है, तो वो मटके यूज करके बनाया. So for I was seeing it for the first time कि ऐसा क्राफ्ट को इस तरीके से भी आप यूज कर सकते हो, ठीक है. So here when the third party actually came in, they did a brilliant job, and here like the younger generation, बच्चे बूढ़े सबको वो actually museum पसंद आएगा. It's like that. And again the second thing is, this is Sarmaya Art Foundation है, it's a online museum. अब वो physical museum नहीं बना रहे, वो online museum बना रहे. Paul, who is the co-founder, he's been collecting different art and crafts, and now he's making film of all these crafts. So again, here the third party is involved, and here they're doing something actually great. for generation like us जो आगे जाके शायद चीजें भूल जाएंगे, I have something to refer to, like what I had.
I have a question though. I want to understand, by the time a third party is here, have you already declared the craft is dead and this is just life support? What Praveen was saying.
No, it's मतलब what I've seen is कि ऐसा नहीं कि it's already died. It's just a support system. और वो इतना common नहीं है. It's there और शायद आगे सारी generation तक चलेगा. But they want to make it popular or they want people to know about it.
That's mostly archival then, na? So it's no longer being practiced on its own without intervention.
It is.
Okay.
It is being practiced.
I
For
think
example,
it's-
Madhubani.
So I think the value association will be on multiple levels. So for example, if we talk about in terms of India's history, that museum has a great, it has showcased a great tradition of the place.
Yeah.
So
Right.
wonderful. Then we can say on that particular region, for that region, it will have a different association. Now again, we talk about people, like people who are actually practicing that craft. One of their objectives in the museum. So it will be interesting to ask them. Yes, they will feel, there is intangible satisfaction they will have that, there is a good recognition. And it's great. I'm not trying to put a value judgment like, it's good or bad. But it is interesting to hear perspectives. Like someone would say, like I have actually, like one of my field visit in touch, like one craft person I was talking to, basically I saw some artifact in the museum. Then I was talking to the person and he said that वो तो museum में है. Now what? So
Okay,
for
one-
him, yeah.
Is museum like a coffin place for craft?
Yeah, that's the question I was going to ask. That like when we say something associated with museum, do we consider it like extinct or in the past, or it is not existing right now? And because there is a corollary with something called seed banks. Like when we have seed banks for agricultural purposes, we store particular seeds, even if they are not used in large numbers in the actual practices. But it doesn't mean that they are not they have gone extinct. It's just that we have kept them for future purposes, right? So maybe when we have craft, maybe we should have something called craft banks, so that this association with museum of death goes away. And it's more like a bank where you could loan a craft in a sense, that it exists, but you could loan a craft.
I would disagree a little bit here that museums are not necessarily the death places. Because if you look at, contemporary places like, I want to say the Crafts Museum near Pragati Maidan in India, let's just say it's, for me as like a young Delhi student, that was a very interesting place to start with. And then I went on to see some good museums also. But then let's say some places I haven't seen but read about, let's say MoMA, Museum of Modern Art, New York. So they have Tetris also. They have works of people who are still living. So is it the death place or is it an क्या बोले archive बोले उसे?
I have one pointer to add, which is like, I don't know if it is true, but that's what I feel with all my craft-based field visits. What I feel is that I think all of us are designers, right? Like some or the other kind in this group. So for us, craft has been a subject. And then we are going on the field and talking to them. Those people, whatever we are talking is very different, like for them. For them, it is everyday life. And I think their whole process of doing that craft is also not consciously chosen. And leaving is also not consciously like chosen that, we will stop it. It is like a mysterious force which kind of starts such a cultural activity for so many years, and then it is again another mysterious. Here, I think that's all.
I think अगर इसके आसपास की बात करें, ठीक है, so I went to North East जहाँ पे I had to shoot linen weavers of Tripura, and उसमें क्या था, again in past 12 or 10 years बीइंग अ डिजाइन स्टूडेंट हमें लगता है ना हम डिजाइनर है, हम दुनिया बदलेंगे. तो वहां जाके वो चीज ब्रेक हुई एक्चुअली. So when I went there and when I saw, तो वहाँ पे सबसे अच्छी चीज क्या थी when we are talking about dyeing, okay? The craft जो था वो बहुत ही एक अपना self sustenance पे चल रहा था, okay? तो अब अपने यहाँ क्या जनरली अगर हम बनारसी साड़ी या किसी भी क्राफ्ट की बात करें, वहाँ पे मार्केट इन्वॉल्व है, लोग इन्वॉल्व है, CSR इन्वॉल्व है, ये सब चलता है. बट दैट नॉर्थ ईस्ट की कम्युनिटी जो कि अपना रीसा और पास्ता बनाते हैं, वो अपने लिए ही बना रहे थे. देयर वाज नो मतलब कोई मार्केटिंग मतलब मार्केट डिमांड नहीं है, डिमांड सप्लाई का कुछ रोल नहीं है. उन्होंने अपने लिए बनाया, कम्युनिटी में बेच रहे हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई दैट क्राफ्ट इज स्टिल एबल टू सस्टेन. और वहां पे इस टाइप के डायलॉग्स हैं कि क्राफ्ट खत्म होने वाला है, आगे जाके क्या करेंगे, वो है ही नहीं, एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता. एंड दे आर एबल टू इवॉल्व विद द टाइम. अब जैसे रीसा पास्ता पहनते थे, तो रीसा क्या होता है कि पतला ऊपर से टॉप होता है, नीचे इट्स अ सेरोन. अब रीसा तो चला गया, बट वो ऊपर नॉर्मल टी शर्ट पहनता है और नीचे पास्ता पहनता है. डिस्पाइट द फैक्ट कि चीजें चेंज हो गई है, बट अगेन दैट क्राफ्ट इज नॉट डाइंग बिकॉज वो कम्युनिटी आपस में ही कर रही है एंड दे स्टिल वेयरिंग इट. सो आई थिंक वो जरूरी है इफ यू वांट टू कंटिन्यू समथिंग लाइक दिस. एंड ऑल्सो लाइक आई met a woman जैसे चंद्रानी थी, who कह सकते हैं कि when she was born या जैसा भी है, उसके पेरेंट्स से कि क्राफ्ट नहीं करना है, कंटिन्यू नहीं करना है, तुम पढ़ाई लिखाई करो. एंड यहाँ पे अगेन द पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज बिकॉज जैसे कि ठीक है पढ़ाई लिखाई की जैसा भी किया, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली शी इज नॉट एबल टू फाइंड अ जॉब. शी वेंट बैक, उसकी शादी हुई, उसने क्राफ्ट सीखा एंड नाउ शी इज अर्निंग वेल. हियर उसका एजुकेशन सिस्टम का कुछ काम नहीं है, तो सर एक्चुअली क्राफ्ट एंड अगेन शी इज सस्टेनिंग इट and she's doing well.
Right. Also, like, okay, I don't want to sound sadist or something, but like, say, when we talk about death, so like, how we humans, we also give this another definition to death, saying that when it's time bound, it's also very purposeful, we have meaning in our life. So, and when we say that, oh, we want to be, say, some like immortal, then I mean, we're just stretching our life, right? So I just want to ask this question: why is it important to make sure that a craft lives on forever?
There is something that I recently found out. So I did my craft doc last year in Kullu, and after 1 year I visited the same place now. So what happened is that जो मैंने shawls का पूरा business देखा था over there, so they were not all craftsmen. The history started with a few people coming together to see कि अच्छा we have the available material, we started making shawls because it was too cold and the weather उसकी वजह से the change happened. And now what I noticed was कि the people who are actually making them, the weavers, they do not have a history of doing that in the families. They are learning it in an institute in Kullu and they're doing it matlab commercially over there. They're not craftsmen, but they're doing the craft, and the craft is still surviving. And because of the recession, there were changes in it, and now they have just switched from making shawls to contemporary sweaters and everything. So it is evolving with time. And the person who started the industry, I know her. So unki family se ye cheez start hui thi, that they are one of the stakeholders who started it, and now she knows that she has to matlab do anything to make this happen. So she's working hard and doing all the things that are possible, but isme all the craftsmen are not involved. These are people who are just learning to do something and they're hoping that their kids might do it. It's not craft right now, but it's also Kullu shawls wala thing.
I would say why not? It is
Commercialized, but it's also a craft.
Yeah.
I think it kind of helps with what Aparna was saying earlier, where why should we care whether a craft is dying or not, or what? Why is there like this whole what I think Kahneman has been talking about, loss aversiveness? We emphasize so much on the losses and not so much on the benefits that we give overemphasis on the loss. That is the psychological bit of it. But I think a commercial one, which Akshita really put really well over here, was that diversity of skills in an economy, at the end of it, helps that economy to sustain itself. If you were kind of focused on one, you put all your eggs in one basket, then it becomes it more vulnerable to be like tossed out when some other external factors comes in. So let's say for the Egypt example, suddenly, if there were no grandparents to teach the grandchildren to harvest those fruits, then they would basically be dying out of hunger because they don't have any way to earn a living now. Just because that craft was still there around, when the whole economy pivoted or changed, they had one way to hedge their bets on it.
Right. And see, what I've seen is कि generally whenever we talk about artisans and craft, हम उनको बहुत ना अलग प्राणी बना देते हैं generally कि उनको बता मतलब अगर देखा जाए तो craft it's a profession. जैसे for example, if I am practicing illustration और मेरा एक टाइम के बाद ऐसा हो रहा है कि भाई illustrations मैं नहीं बना सकती, तो अगर if I'm not able to make any more illustrations or documentaries, I'm going to lose my earnings. So I need to save it so that I can earn, so that I can eat. So similarly, even like any craft needs to survive. जो लोग involved हैं उसमें उनके लिए जरूरी है, हमारे लिए जरूरी नहीं है.
The basic reason they do it is to earn. मतलब that is the first thing. They do not think कि हमारा family history है, but also they want to earn a living. They want to eat out of it. And if that is not happening, then
right. And also see, जो क्राफ्ट स्टार्ट हुआ है, हम आज के टाइम पे वी टेक इट एज अ क्राफ्ट या म्यूजियम में चीज है या डेकोरेशन है, बट एक्चुअली है तो उसका फंक्शन. एंड व्हेन इट started with the function. Now it has gone to the museum or a decorative piece. But anything which is craft, it has a function.
We started in like when Dhruv asked the same thing to me when I wrote, because the workshop we are doing is about death of craft. But when I wrote for the discussion invite, right, I wrote death and craft because to me, I thought that maybe like people who are maybe not associated with craft itself, they want to discuss things. So I thought death could be a starting point itself, and that's why I think we started with the death part more than the craft. And like we already had a lot of discussion about crafts since a lot of us are designers.
Yeah.
So the thing is, that's why like okay, craft is there, but we want to specifically talk about death, right? Like death in the perspective of craft. So that's why I wrote and, because we could discuss death itself, because I think a lot of things we didn't discuss even from the image, like these images, like when like a phoenix ka part is about death dies and it again reborns itself from the ashes, right? So these things we didn't discuss, and there was this thing about randomness, like not randomness but chance, like you have an accident, a person gets an accident and they die, right? it's a so sudden thing which happens, and it's like a chance part, right? Like something happened, it was nobody's fault, but a death happened, right? So I wanted to also see like can these also happen in craft? Something was sudden happens and a craft doesn't exist. Okay, so
what happens if the artisan who is the last person who does the craft, he dies out of an accident? What then?
Exactly.
He did not share it with anyone. No written books, anything. What happens to it then?
In Rajasthan, actually, you have culture like this. You have something called Theva, which is dying because they would only teach the sons. They won't teach the daughter.
Yeah, there are things that artisans only teach to their family members, not anyone else who even wants to learn it. So what if they die? How do we convince them that okay, we want to learn it?
Or
please?
do we?
Exactly.
So actually, this point, right? Like, what are we trying to save? Basically, like we are trying to save that material knowledge which converts into different forms, or are we just like too impressed with the visual form that comes out and we want to keep that? Because if there is a last family who knows some craft and something happens and the craft is gone and people are gone, then there will be other people who would also generate new forms of craft from the material, their environment. So like lot of times I feel that lot of discussion or decisions that are taken even in government or NGOs or companies or researchers or designers, they are mostly like because they are very impressed with the visual form, and it is detached from the people process, like okay, these are the people.
But I think there's also, you can talk it in terms of what we call like languages are dying. So in the same sense, you can say like the whole ethos of creation is also dying, where people are okay with consumption because that's what the media or the whole capitalistic thing is influencing people to do. So if they are no longer in the mode of creation, then when you say if one craft dies, another takes birth, is that true? Because it might not, because if people are just consuming and not creating anymore, and the creation is going towards the more dominant economic factor at that point, then basically it's extinct.